as someone who is as empathetic as myself, and I like to see the best in people, I cannot believe I am finally at a point in my life that I can actually say out loud and believe it, that love is not enough. And it's still kind of weird for me to say it out loud because a little part of me just does not want to believe that. Because like, what do you mean love is not enough? You know, love makes the world go round and round. What do you mean love is not enough? What do you mean? Like, that's what people have to offer, and sometimes that's okay. And there's, in a sense, I've always heard that quote, love is not enough. And I never wanted to believe it. And not even just that, I never actually believed that love was enough. I didn't believe it. I did not believe it because genuinely and wholeheartedly, love has always been enough for me. So I thought, until my needs kept on getting ignored and my needs never got met, and then I ended up depressed as hell. And I was like, love is not enough. Love is not enough. And when you're such a firm believer that love is enough, I promise you, 99.9% of your relationships will give you the bare minimum. Because at some point, everybody kind of knows that love is not enough, but they're just not ready to hear it. They're not ready to put in the work to keep you. They're not ready to put in the work on how to make a good relationship work and how to keep a good woman or even a good man at that. Yeah, love is a beautiful feeling. Love is a beautiful thing. Love does make the world go round and round. Without love, we have nothing. But if love is all you can bring to the table when it comes to a relationship, then it's sure as hell, it's not enough. It's just not enough. Because at the end of the day, I already love myself. At least with all due respect, I think at some point you should love yourself to your fullest capacity before getting in a relationship, so you don't end up like codependent. I already love myself, right? And of course you're gonna love me, but like, what else? This is gonna be a weird analogy, and I'm not comparing humans to animals, but just hear me out. For everybody here who has a dog, what is a dog's job to do? To love you, hang out with you, they're codependent, like, but you feel so loved by a dog. But that's all a dog can really do for you, and that's great. If you think love is enough, just get a dog. Get a dog. I am not about to sit here and be with a grown-ass man or a grown-ass woman and really be gaslighted into thinking that love is enough. What that really means is, yo, I'm gonna do the bare minimum and I hope that you're okay with it, but something is telling me that you're not okay with it, so instead of me putting in the work to keep you, I'm gonna sit here and try to gaslight you into thinking that how dare you not believe that love is enough. Of course, my love is enough. And when these people try to gaslight you, they do a really good job at it. Like, what do you mean love isn't enough? Like, is my love not enough for you? Like, dang, like they'll say all these crazy things and like, it's not enough. And I think I got to this point by being so disappointed by relationships and friendships that I really had to like get that pill, this imaginary pill, and swallow it. That's a big pill. I did not want to swallow it because I myself was not ready to believe that love was not enough. What about the consistency? What about the respect? What about the effort? What about the dates? What about the date nights? What about the trips? What about you fighting for me? What about you not getting consistent and always making sure that you are treating me how you did in the beginning whenever it was time to, I guess, get me to be your partner? See, that's the thing about relationships, is a lot of people, they know how to put in the work in the beginning. Oh, they know how to sweet talk you, they know how to fight for you, they know how to treat you, they know how to get you flowers, they know how to like make you feel like you're on cloud 9. And that's why so many relationships that shouldn't really be there are still there, because they're still searching for that cloud 9 feeling, like the beginning, the butterflies, the honeymoon phase, that's never gonna come back, because with all due respect, your partner is not willing to take you back there. This doesn't just apply to men, it applies to women or anybody that can be very complacent in relationships. I'm guilty of it, you're guilty of it, it happens, we live and learn. So they do all the right things, and then once they already have you and you're theirs, they tend to just kind of like, all right, well, I already got her. It is what it is. I ain't got to put in all this work anyway because she's already mine. I think I've already manipulated her and gaslighted her enough to think that like love really is enough. And as long as I tell her that I love her and, you know, then I'm good. She's not going anywhere. That's the biggest misconception about relationships. If you stop doing the one thing that got your partner to be yours mid-relationship, you're gonna lose them. And that's when the complacency comes in. And people just stop trying with you. They stop trying. And you know, I know this is all a big joke on TikTok and it's a lot of ha ha ha, whatever, I understand. But it's almost like, Have you seen those TikTok videos lately where like the girl is like standing by the door, she's inside the house and she's holding the flowers and things like that, and then the husband walks in and she like shoves it in his face, and then she shuts the door, and then he walks in like with all confused with the flowers, and she's like, thank you. And I know it's a joke, ha ha ha, I get it, I laugh too, but really it's not funny when you can actually relate, right? It's almost like it's just not funny. And that's my shit, is like, I know nobody is perfect and people always have to be better at things and work on themselves, and like no matter who you're with, your partner will never be perfect, and that's inevitable. You can't make up this fantasy thing in your head to make your partner be more perfect than what they really are. Don't put them on a pedestal that you can't reach either. But what I'm saying is, if you have to like actually ask your partner, why don't you get me flowers? Why don't we go on date nights, babe? Like, why haven't you called me pretty? It's been like a week. I know you guys are not going to want to hear this, and that's okay. Some of you guys are not ready, and that's fine, because it took me, I'm almost 29. It took me so long to understand this, because they just don't care. They don't care. Or they may be going through mental health issues, that's different. Talk to them, they could be depressed, that's different. But what I'm saying is, like, if this is your life, you gotta go. You have to leave. Because one thing I promised myself I would never do, and I've never done it, is if I'm in a relationship and I see that my partner is like slacking off and I'm no longer getting flowers or little things, because I know what I'm doing. I'm not perfect, but like I know how to treat my partners right. Like I'll hold myself accountable where I have to be better. But I always promised myself I would never, never, never ask a man or a woman that I'm with, like, why haven't you got me flowers? I'll say that after I break up with you. I'm not gonna stay with you. Because then when I bring up the concern, you should already be doing these things. So it's not like I'm communicating something that bothered me, like, hey, you said this the other day, I didn't like the way you were talking to me, let's talk about it, I don't like your tone, fix it. Right, that's communication. But when someone is showing you the bare minimum all the time, what is there to talk about? What is there to talk about? Because one thing I learned in life is that you can sit here and try to like, think of Play-Doh, right? Play-Doh. And you can mold it into like whatever you want it to be. That's how we like to treat humans. We want to mold humans into like the perfect way and make sure like they like what we like, and like, oh my God, like if I'm patient enough, like I'm gonna invent this perfect man or this perfect woman, and they're gonna be my idea of perfect. And that can happen low key, and when it does happen, then you just resent them and you're done. So you wasted all that time doing a whole lot of nothing, or you molded the perfect person to go be with somebody else. That's why sometimes whenever you break up with someone or they break up with you, they do all the things you've ever asked them to do for somebody else, like this, when you could have just left. It's not that easy. Who said it was easy? I think the most pain I've ever felt in my life, and I'm not even being dramatic, is when I was going through a breakup. Those have been the most depressive moments of my life, where I literally don't recommend this. I didn't even eat for a few days. I felt so low, I isolated myself, but so much good things happened. Like I grew for the better, and you know, I'm good. But you could have just left. And I think a lot of people like to stay in relationships that are already dead. The love is lost, the romance is gone, the complacency is there, they haven't called you pretty in 4 weeks, they haven't even got you a fucking flower, not even one flower, nothing. And you're still here like, that's my man, you know, like, that's my man. Girl, I don't think anybody else wants that but you. I don't think anybody else wants that treatment but you. I don't think anybody else would want to deal with the bare minimum. And this is what I mean that like love is not enough. Because I guarantee you, if you call them out, they're going to be like, well, I'm sorry that I'm not perfect. I'm sorry that I'm not good enough. Sorry that I suck. Gaslight, 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 shut up. Do not try to gaslight me into feeling bad about me knowing my worth and what I require. Right? I always promised myself I would never tell somebody like, buy me flowers. Why haven't you bought me flowers? I thought you were late on picking me up today because you were getting me flowers, but you weren't. Because one thing about men, this is not all men. Let me quickly disclose that. There are so many good men in the world. I know plenty. I have plenty in my family. There are so many good men. I'm talking about the trash ones, and you know what I'm talking about. Just like there's a lot of women that really ain't shit, but there's a lot of women that really, really are the shit. But let's put it in a quick perspective. What is a few things, men, not all men, what is a few things that some men will never forget to do? And they're very consistent. Get a haircut. Oh, they need that line up, bitch. They need that fade, okay? They never forget to get a haircut. They never forget to play video games. They never forget to hang out with their homies. They never forget to work out. They never forget to text all their homies back. They're very consistent with the things that they want to be consistent with. And sometimes a hard pill to swallow is, although you could be the whole package, you are still not somebody's priority. And that's when you have to love yourself more and leave. Not find a million reasons to stay. In any relationship that I've ever left, there was always a million reasons for me to, well, not a million, but there was always so many reasons for me to stay. But there's also so many reasons for me to go, right? And I'm not sitting here encouraging like isolation or leave your partner. No, I'm just saying if you're not getting the treatment that you know that you deserve, at that point it's like, I don't want to tell you to leave, but I also don't want to tell you to stay. I just want to really, really encourage self-love, self-growth, self-development, so you know what to do in that situation. I'll break up with someone right away and be like, okay, you're not doing X, Y, and Z. Here's how you're not meeting my needs. Here's how I feel like I'm getting the bare minimum. And just because you tell me you love me and then during an argument you cry every 5 seconds, it's not going to keep me here. Because crying, not all the time, but sometimes people cry when they feel helpless and they know that they're wrong as a form of manipulation. Because if you have a big heart and you're empathetic, it's going to work. You're going to feel that. You're going to keep them. And then it's like an ongoing fucking cycle. Cry on your own time. Respectfully. One thing about love is not complicated. I don't care what anybody says. My opinion, okay? Love is not complicated. Love is hard. Yes. Love is a commitment. Love is work. It's kind of like if you're trying to build your dream body in the gym. It takes work. You got to show up for yourself every day in the gym. You have to push yourself on the days that you feel like sleep in, whatever, but still show up. Are you gonna build your dream body by just doing nothing and like, I'm gonna manifest it? No, you can manifest it, but also work your ass off and do it. Because it takes work, it takes commitment. Anything you want in this life is achievable and is doable. But it takes work to get there, just like a relationship. You have to show up for yourself every day, but also for your partner if you're with somebody. You have to show up for them, for your man, your girl, whatever. You can't just start slacking off forever because I already got her. And that's like the biggest misconception, and is people think that you're never gonna leave them because you've been so kind to give them so many chances up until you actually leave them one day. Then they're like, excuse me? Oh wait, and then during a breakup they'll do all the nice things for you, or like towards the end of the relationship they'll give you flowers and this, and they'll give you all the things that they stopped doing during the relationship. And it's almost like they think they're trying to win you back, but the whole time in your head you're like, see, you were more than capable to do all these things, but why did it take losing me to get us here? Why did it take me having to walk away to have you do more for me? Why did it take me having to leave for you to simply buy $12 roses? They don't have to buy you hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of roses. I mean, they can, that's great, but it's also like they could easily go pick some. Not everybody has money, I understand that, but if they wanted to, they would. If they wanted to show you that they care, they would. If they wanted to, they would. Okay, you can't afford flowers, I bet. Why aren't you picking some? Why aren't you trying to find every garden near you and making a little bouquet and getting your girl's hair tied and putting it on the bottom and giving her the flowers that she deserves? Because it's a whole lot of bare minimum and they just don't want to. They just don't want to, so why do you want to stay? Oh, because I've invested so much of my time here and like, it would be a waste and I don't want to see him with somebody else, it's gonna hurt, and like I've already been here for 10 years and we have a kid together, it's different. Those all sound like excuses to me, respectfully, because that could be true, but they all sound like excuses. And you know what they say, excuses sound better to the person that's making them, not us. It sounds good to you. Sometimes you just gotta let people know that enough is enough. That's it, enough is enough. And there is those like rare times when people break up, that was my cat, when people break up and they get back together because you guys worked on yourselves. That's beautiful. I'm not saying like your ex can't be the love of your life, but what I am saying is there is certain situations where you so badly have to choose yourself first. Whether you guys get back together in the future or not, if growth happens on both ends, it takes two to tango. You have to ask yourself this question: what's gonna hurt me more? To leave this person and suffer a heartbreak, but I know that I can get through it, or to stay in this relationship where I'm not being valued, no one's calling me, no one's giving me like compliments, I'm not getting the princess treatment I deserve, I'm just sitting here settling and waiting for this person to love me right. That hurts more than a heartbreak, because this can last forever. People will give you the bare minimum forever. People stay in bare minimum relationships all the time because they don't want to start over, or they don't want to like start fresh or move on, whatever. Heartbreaks eventually go away. I know, contrary to belief, you guys may not think that they do, but they do, because time heals all. I'm not saying that it won't like spike up randomly and like you'll be having a great time in that club with your girls and like you're gonna get sad years later. But that's just human nature. It's okay to get sad over the things that you no longer want. It's okay to get sad over the people that you no longer want. It's okay to actually sit there and miss people that are not good for you. It is okay to sit there and think about the people that have hurt you and still wish them the best, but still not want any contact with them. It is okay to miss people that were no longer meant for you. What I'm trying to say is that sometimes you really have to love yourself more. And even if you don't love yourself more, act like you do and walk away. Because the more you practice something, the more you start to believe it. If you deep down feel like you really ain't shit, but you always tell yourself that like you're the shit, right? And you start to move like you're the shit. You leave relationships that aren't meant for you. You leave friendships that aren't meant for you. You do all these things. You do your makeup a little bit more. You go to the gym even though you don't even know what the fuck you're doing in the gym. Practice makes perfect. And one day you're gonna wake up and you're actually gonna love yourself. And then when you realize that you can actually give yourself all the love that everybody else really can't because they don't even love themselves, you're gonna sit there and be like, damn, like I really used to settle. Wow, I must have been a lonely ass bitch. Like I really used to settle. We've all been there, we've all done that. It's okay, but it's not okay forever. Okay? There has to be some growth even within yourself. Take some accountability, and sometimes it's not even the other person's fault anymore. They showed you who they were. They showed you the bare minimum. But you're choosing to like put your blinders on and be like, no, I don't want to see it. I'm not ready. Ha ha ha. Sometimes that is also your fault because you refuse to hold them accountable for their behavior, and you refuse to leave because you much rather wait and settle and wait until he learns how to love you. You shouldn't teach somebody how to love you or respect you. That should already be given. Now, learning people's love languages, yeah, that's different. I understand. But teaching someone how to love you and respect you is so far under the bare minimum, it's almost like degrading. That should already come in relationships and friendships, okay? I would get this comment all the time. People were like, wow, like she always leaves relationships. Ah ha ha ha, Celeste, you're like J-Lo, like y'all can't While you guys think you're dissing me, I take it as a compliment. So what looks like an L to you is a W for me. It's a win. Because you damn fucking right I'll leave relationships. If I'm not getting my needs met, I'm out. Doesn't mean I have commitment issues. Doesn't mean I can't settle down. It just means that I'm not afraid to be alone. I am not afraid to seriously one day just maybe end up alone. And I get that comment all the time too. Oh, you're gonna end up alone? Hell yeah, alone and at peace, not tormented and taken by someone who hasn't gotten me a fucking bouquet of flowers in 7 years. Oh, but that's a win, right? It's not a win. That's not a win. Knowing your worth is not easy. Knowing your worth is like one of the biggest life challenges on this earth. Learning how to love yourself and actually like spend time with yourself and actually sit there alone with yourself and in your feelings and embrace who you are is the hardest thing ever. Again, what's worth it in this life is not easy. So I don't know why you're expecting things to be so easy for you when the things that are worth it take time, take work, take effort, take commitment, take consistency, take dedication. Right? I just hope that one day you actually start to receive better the way that you know that you deserve better. It's so easy to say, oh, I deserve better. Like, I'm that bitch. Like, I'm great. Okay, it's a whole lot of like Chihuahua. That's a lot of Chihuahua talk. All bark, no bite. Okay? Just because your captions on Instagram and your bio and all your tweets are all about self-love and like, you know, but you're still with that dusty ass guy. So instead of just talking about it, walk about it, preach about it, move about it. Even when it hurts. Even if people get mad at you for leaving their life, even a friendship, whatever. You leaving people's life is not supposed to make their life easier. It's not supposed to, make them feel good. It's not supposed to like, oh my God, am I gonna make them mad? No. Doing things for yourself, leaving people's life and setting boundaries is to make your life easier and your life better for yourself. So stop thinking about everybody's feelings for once and do shit for yourself. Stop making decisions around what everybody else wants you to do, and you know what they think is best, and how can I make her and him and my mom and my brother and my sister and my man and my this and my bestie happy, and that's why you're so fucking depressed. It's okay to be an empath. It's okay to be there for people. Yes, of course. But dude, show up for yourself too. Show up for yourself too. No one will show up for you the way you can for yourself. They will show up for you, yeah, of course. Because not everybody is a bad person. Some people actually care about you. But never forget and never stop showing up for yourself. Because the more you do that, the more you love yourself. That's the only way to love yourself, by showing up for yourself. That's it. If you say you're gonna go to the gym, go. If you say you have a work call at 9 a.m., have the call. Don't push it back. If you say you're gonna eat healthy, eat healthy. If you say you're gonna leave that relationship, leave. Leave. The only way to love yourself is by holding yourself accountable to your own actions and actually putting in the work. If you say you're gonna read a book tonight, read a book. 5 pages, read the 5. Don't read 4, not 4.5, 5. Stop letting yourself down. Because the more you let yourself down, the more you allow other people to let you down, because you're so used to letting yourself down all the time that it's almost like the bare minimum is your new normal. I guess I could live with it. Yeah. I guess this is fine. Of course it's fine. I could stay in a relationship if I wanted to. That's the bare minimum, because it's fine. I'm comfortable. It's fine. I'm good. I'm good. I'd much rather leave 50 more relationships. I'm not going to get in that many more. But I'd much rather leave 50 more than be disappointed and stay somewhere that I'm not valued. Okay? Self-love is hard, but it's worth it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below and let me know what you're struggling with right now, or what battles you're facing right now. Mwah. Love you. Bye.